Guys, hello. Ooh, I'm so excited to talk about this today, and I want to be very sensitive as well because I know that this is a sensitive topic. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I want to reassure you that I basically have experienced every different facet. I have literally experienced every different facet of this. So anything that I share with you, I don't just share as a professional, from a professional standpoint. I also share from a standpoint of life experience. But you guys, this topic is crucial. As I talk to women all the time, I keep hearing this common theme, and it's not something we want to admit. Or actually, I see two attitudes. We either like kind of flippant about it, like, yeah, I'm a workaholic, or we're like kind of ashamed about it, like, yeah, my marriage is struggling so much, and that's the reason why I choose to fill up every spare moment I have with my work. And in today's manifesting session, we're going to speak specifically to the discomforts around physical intimacy and how that is affecting your choices. Hold on here. I don't know if you guys can hear my piano in the background on my TV, but it's loud. It's distracting me. So guys, if you're just tuning in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to hear where you're watching from. And I want to share with you that today we're going to get some clarity around physical intimacy in ways you don't see this showing up anywhere else. Lately, I've been really pondering on, how many sex resources are out there and how kind of unhelpful they are. I mean, do you guys agree? It's like you could Google anything, even when you're waiting in the grocery line, and that's been there forever, right? Cosmo, I feel like I remember blushing about that when I was just a babe, when I was just a tiny kid. I'm like, why is that lady naked on that magazine, Mom? There's so many resources for us about sex, and yet there's still so much confusion about it, isn't there? And can be so much internal confusion. Yay, hi, Eliza from Wyoming. Awesome. Hey, Miriam and Reno. I'm excited, really excited to share this with you guys. So yeah, by the end of today, you're going to have some real clarity around the issues that are showing up around physical intimacy and the one main key that is going to help you to solve that. That may sound like a lofty promise, but my friends, I am telling you, there is one main thing that is going to help, and I can guarantee that because I've seen it over and over. Okay, so if we are choosing to numb out through work because we don't want to deal with physical intimacy issues, let's break this down. What is really happening? There's three things that I see really commonly that happen with driven, powerful, high achieving women. And it can be on either side. She'll either lose her drive for sex or she'll have the higher drive. And here's the different ways that this plays out. I would be taking notes on this, you guys. This is the meat of this session today. One, she loses her drive due to traumas and being guarded. So she's got traumas in her past, and she's got stuff that has happened, even if it's just relationships that didn't pan out. She showed up with an open heart, and then they broke her heart, even as a teen, right? And then she shut down. Or it could be really severe traumas, right? Like broken homes, broken childhood stuff, as severe as sexual abuse, all that kind of stuff. Like, we go through hard things, okay? And this absolutely has an effect on our sex drive. And if you are having issues with your sex drive and you have any unresolved things in your past, I can guarantee you these are related to this. I don't know how many times I talk to women and they're like, I don't know if it's really related. Let me just tell you what that is. I get that. And you're doing that because you're trying to protect yourself. Because why on earth would you want to go back in and open up a can of worms from your past? It hurts so much. But I want to promise you, healing is always available. And if you are willing to go in and face it, it's going to be less scary than you thought. Always, always. You survived it once. You can survive the healing process of it. I want you to take a deep breath in. If that resonates with you, I felt like I needed to say that, and I just want you to plant that in. You can heal anything. Okay. So that's the first one, a little bit more severe. I'm kind of just coming out the door with with the real stuff, you guys. I know this is what you want to hear about. And if you want to hear more about this, I want you to type real stuff in the comments. And if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know where you're watching from. Do you want to hear the real stuff? Okay. Number two, the number two issue that I see when a woman is crazy strong, powerful, she's working hard in her work, working hard in her business, and she chooses to work because she's trying to avoid her physical intimacy discomfort, is she's lost her drive because she's more in the masculine and he's more in the feminine energy. So an example of how this would play out, you guys, is you've got a nice man. He's very nice, and he will move heaven and earth for you. He will do whatever you want. He brings you food. He gives you foot rubs. He's like there at your beck and call, and you're honestly not sure what he stands for besides you. He's wishy-washy. He's all over the place. There's an example, right? He's very in his feminine, and he doesn't really know, you don't really necessarily hear him expressing a lot of deep conviction. Another way this might manifest is you go to him and you say, well, what do you think we should do? And he always defaults back to you. Another way that you would see this show up is he won't step up and do leadership things in your home. So, you know, if spiritual leadership or, you know, reading scriptures as a family or that kind of thing is important to you, he's not really going to be the one to do that. You step in and you do all the things. You know, say you decide like, gosh, you know, the kids are having a disciplinary issue. I see this pattern or whatever. He's not going to be the one to step in and do those things. It's going to be you. So, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing that in every area, right? But if he's doing that in a few key areas that even unconsciously are really important to you, you can lose your sex drive because you're like, it's like a magnet, right? The masculine and feminine is like a magnet. So that like, yes, come, I want to receive you is blocked off because it's like, I'm not really sure what you even stand for. Okay, can you guys kind of see how that breakdown could happen? It's hard to see that one. Okay. And another thing that can happen in a similar vein, so our third piece here, is actually the woman will have the higher drive and the man will have a lower drive because maybe he's just kind of more feminine by nature. And that's okay, right? Human beings are supposed to be this flow of masculine and feminine, but he needs more emotional connection, not just physical connection. And if you are showing up always in high drive, always in leadership, always over masculine, that actually could be a turnoff for him because he wants to see you. He doesn't want you to feel closed, like you're closed off to him. So if he feels or gets a sense that you're withdrawn, you're closed off to him, or you're always coaching or criticizing him, he is not going to want to reciprocate. Okay, so some of these things are at play on a really subtle level. Maybe you're watching this and you're thinking, no, we have physical intimacy issues because my husband has erectile dysfunction, or we have intimacy issues because I'm going through menopause, and so I have a different drive altogether. I have a different hormonal issue. But I'm telling you, I've worked with clients in each of these scenarios, including erectile dysfunction, including going through menopause. And there are always subtleties at play that prevent you. I mean, have you ever seen these sort of what we call like anomaly couples, right? Where they're in their 90s and they're just all over each other. Have you ever seen that? And you think, I mean, they're not a unicorn couple. It's that they've been willing to get underneath some of this stuff and find that magnetism toward each other. Whether there's erectile dysfunction, whether there's hormonal issues, whatever the thing is, they've been able to find this beautiful intimacy. Okay. So, so typically a woman who is a workaholic is over masculine. I want you to get that the main issue here is out of balance. You're out of balance in your energy. Okay. Is this resonating, you guys? I want to check in with the comments here. Let me know if this is resonating. So much more efficient than my husband in getting things decided and getting things done, right? Absolutely. Yep. What does it mean to know what he stands for? What's an example of knowing? Okay, well, one phrase would be like, you know, he has a backbone, right? Some examples of this kind of goes to our real innate stuff. I mean, honestly, what I'm about to say is going to sound really stereotypical, but it actually comes from like our Darwin evolution stuff. Okay, so we're, you know, way back in the day and we're living in small tribes. We're going to unite ourselves with someone who can protect us and take care of us. And so a stereotypical example of that out in the real world is my husband. This happened when I think we were still dating, actually. It thrilled me because my husband tends to be more feminine, just generally. He just sort of tends toward that. He's more go with the flow. He's very easygoing. And sometimes we have gone into these really toxic places where I've been like, I don't know what he's to stand for. But one time he showed me when we were dating that he did stand for something, and it was so attractive to me. And our sex drive is so innate, you guys. It really is kind of like this evolutionary thing that moves through us. This guy, we were at this like university gathering place. We went to college together, and this guy came up to me, and it was a winter, and I had a winter scarf on, and he came up and he like grabbed my scarf and he goes, "That's a really nice scarf." Like right here, he's like grabbing my scarf, and he was totally a weird guy. My husband at the time, my boyfriend, came over and was like, "What do you think you're doing, man? Get your hands off my girlfriend's scarf." I was so happy. I was like, oh, and I was thinking, I don't know what to do. Why is this guy doing this? And he stepped in and he showed me that he had a backbone, right? So we need these little glimpses throughout our marriage. If we're always stepping in and doing everything, we never give them an opportunity to step in and do it instead. I want you to write that down. If you are always doing everything, you are not giving him an opportunity to do it instead. He has no opportunities to lead. He would need to create something crazy to get a leadership position in your home if you're already doing everything, right? Like he would have to plan a trip to Africa or something. Like, okay, I know how I'm going to like do something really crazy, because we're not giving that space. Okay. All right. So I would love to hear if, again, if that resonates with you. If you have more questions about that, put them in the comments, you guys. I'm happy to answer your questions. Okay. Right. You get so frustrated because he doesn't make decisions. Let me tell you, I know that. Oh, I know that place. And I'm going to share a little bit of how stuff with you guys here at the end. What if it takes them 100 years to do things? That is a valid question. I feel like I always have to take the lead, and it's like pulling teeth to get my husband to make major decisions. The phrase, I don't know what he stands for other than me, really resonated. Yeah, I hear that. Let's see here. It's showing me comments in a really funny way. You know how it's got that new feature, so I can only, whatever, it's okay. If I missed your comment, tag me and ask again. I can see like 5. Okay, so let's address that, you guys. Let me pull up my little notes here. Let me tell you what the one big solution is for this. There is one big solution. It fits every scenario. And I have not seen someone do it on their own without support. And even with like halfway support, it took me about 5 years to create these changes in our relationship, in our dynamic. I don't let my clients take 5 years. Like, that is ridiculous. It's like pulling teeth, and who has that kind of patience? It was brutal. Okay, so, but here is the key. You guys ready for the key? Type key in the comments. The number one key is what I have been talking to you guys about from the beginning. So you're sitting here watching this and you're thinking, I've been listening to Melissa for a long time, and I'm still not totally sure if this is the right fit. I'm telling you guys, this is legit, and people are in coaching with me, changing their marriages, changing their intimacy, changing their lives. The one big key is you step in to your feminine and let yourself lead from that place. Lead from that place. Lead from your feminine. I'm sorry, I'm getting so many messages. This took a lot of time, like I said, for us. It took honestly, if you're doing it to change him too, you're not going to be happy with the results. Because he's going to feel that, and he's going to resist it on every angle. And that's why I don't speak to that very often, right? I mostly speak about you stepping into your feminine because it feels so good, because it's going to change your life, and all that stuff is absolutely true. And when your focus is there, you're going to be fulfilled no matter what. But when your focus is on changing your husband, he's not going to respond well. It has to be genuine and come from within you. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, am I actually ready to make this change and allow myself to change the equilibrium within myself and sink into my feminine? So you might be thinking to yourself, I know masculine, feminine and stuff. Like, I already know about this. And so far it hasn't really helped me. It's because you know it. It's in your mind. You can think about it. You can logic your way through it. That's the masculine. Just thinking about this is not the same thing as allowing it to sink into your body, into your bones, and allowing yourself to sense your way through this. Sense your way through this. I've seen women go from like little to no sex drive at all and only having duty sex with their husbands to having crazy sex drives to the point that their husband is like, can I come up for air, please? I've literally seen that happen. I've also seen women with really high sex drives and really unmotivated, depressed husbands create beautiful intimacy where they met each other. They came, to a place of, what do you call it? Like calibrating with each other, not compromising, but calibrating with each other. And now they have great intimacy. I've seen every single side of this. And the feminine is the answer every time. Every time. Okay, so what questions do you have? I'm going to check this one more time. I want to hear if this is resonating. Sorry, I got to pull it up again because I closed it on my desktop, so I was getting a bunch of messages. Kiki, yeah. Lead from my feminine. Do it for you. Sense your way. Exactly, Heather. Throw up and cry. I get it. I really get that, Eliza. So there's a couple of things here. As you make these steps, you give your husband an opportunity to rise up and show you that he can be the masculine, or you do take a risk. Maybe you make the space by stepping into your feminine and he falls even further. And that is the risk that we take. It's a decision between living in complacency and in this mediocre place that you've been living in versus claiming your own joy and how you are going to exist in the world because it's what's best for you, and letting the cards fall where they will. And I know that place. It is hard. I had to come face to face with that in my own marriage, and I had to look myself in the eye and say, are you actually saying you're willing to risk this marriage to follow here, to follow this? And it was like, yeah. And even if you're not in dire straits, you have to always get to that place. There has to be a decision that, yes, I will pursue where the spirit is guiding me, where my heart is guiding me, even if it means he doesn't rise up. And that's really scary. My husband was in the throes of addiction and all kinds of stuff when I made this decision. I really did not know if he was going to turn things around. And I just stayed in constant prayer and trying over and over to connect here, to know myself and be in alignment with myself. And slowly over time, I saw the pieces start to come together, and we were able to build back from that. That's not always the case. We have to really look ourselves in the eye and say, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that for what I know. Okay, Sheena said, what are some examples of showing up and leading in your feminine? I love that question. Okay, so again, there's a big difference between knowing about masculine and feminine in your head versus like actually leading in the feminine from here down. Best example is acting on your intuition. Okay, and as business women, you guys, I know that you know your intuition, right? We're heart-centered, we're in the middle of our businesses, and we're likely praying over them, and I don't know, having rituals and manifesting and all this stuff, right? But we don't take that stuff into our day-to-day, into our relationship. It's like, this is just supposed to work out. It's just supposed to be easy. I don't have to do all that there. So it's about leading with your intuition there. Knowing when to pause, when to ask questions of him instead of jumping in and leading because you're so focused on the next task. You're so up in your head that you just plow through and get all the things done. It requires letting go of a lot of stuff. I have this cute sign. I thought it was in here, but I guess it's not. I had a friend, she had a sign making business, and I had her make me a sign that said, embrace the messy life, in part of my journey with this, because I was a perfectionist and a control freak, and my house had to be a certain way, and I was cleaning it all the time and barking at my kids all the time. And in order for me to let go and create a little bit more space and be in my feminine, I had to give that up. Just let the house be messy. I have 4 kids. Like, my house is messy. I had to just let it go. And I had that sign as a constant reminder. Okay. So some of these ways that we step into our yin energy, in order to give him a chance to step into his yang energy. My husband and I actually just came up with an agreement just this weekend. He's going through kind of his next level of development with this and really like owning his own masculine. And so he's been having a hard time with the decision thing. I think it was you, Sheena, that said, what about decisions? He's going through his own thing with that. And I said, I was like, man, you know, this is really challenging because I want to follow you, but it seems like you're not really sure about a lot lately. And so I'm like, what can we do about this? And we came up with an idea that when he hasn't made a decision yet, he's just going to say to me, I haven't made a decision yet. I haven't made a decision yet. And then it's like, oh, okay. That's like my cue. Okay, I can just step into my feminine and let this crap go. Okay, you guys. Now look, you're not going to get all the pieces that you need from this training because I can't. Like if I could, you know, you can feel my heart. I would pour it all into you, bucket loads full of this understanding, but it's something you have to experience and choose over and over deep in your bones. Okay. And so this is why I am saying, if you've been following me for a while and you've been having these issues in intimacy, sister, feel your way through this. What is preventing you from jumping and getting on a call with me and actually changing this and having everything that you want? You can do that. And when is it long enough? Like how long is long enough of suffering around with this, right? I can also promise you that as you step into your feminine, you're not giving up anything of yourself. You're not giving up yourself. You're actually discovering yourself at a deeper level. It's not about changing you. And we're not talking about, I know I've done this before, but you know, if you're new here, we're not talking about the 1950s femininity. And now I'm going to tell you to go make dinner every night or whatever. We're not talking about that stuff. We're talking about yin and yang feminine energy and getting it into your bones, leading from that place. Okay. All right, we'll wrap up today with a quick manifesting energy group session. So if you're watching here, this is like the gemstone, the little gift that I give you in shifting your energy. And I'm going to just accept that anyone who's here, who's watching either presently live or on the replay, and your energy wants this, these shifts within you, then your subconscious will receive those. And if you don't want them, then your subconscious will reject them, and that's fine. Take a nice deep inhale in. Open mouth, exhale. Awareness is a spiritual practice. So I want to invite you to plant the awarenesses about yourself and your own personal situation. Allow those to plant deep inside of you. Don't push them away. Don't put rosy-colored glasses on after you finish this call. Let those plant deep inside of you. Because you're seeing them right now because the universe knows you're ready to see them right now. And we're going to bring those to our heart space and just offer them up. Because in this, there's nothing to do, only be. Offer them up, and then the next step will become clear to you. And we're just going to allow that, the brain fog to wash away. We're allowing that heart space to reopen from its guarded state. We're allowing that womb space, sacral chakra space to open from its guarded state and release the fear and trauma there. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Sometimes I can feel stuff in my actual body. I can feel like stuff just like releasing there. It's crazy. And even our like pleasure center, we're going to just ignite that and give that permission. Oh, and plant in a new divine awareness that these parts of your body were put there by God. They are divine. They're not bad or wrong. You're not broken. This journey is sacred and divine. And you have permission to pursue the path of pleasure. Ooh, take a deep inhale. Exhale. Giving everyone the energy back. I'm not keeping any of it for myself. Sealing us off. Protecting our space. All right, my loves. I'm going to post my booking link in the comments. And let's do this thing. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys.